Today, we're going to dig into a simple elevator pitch framework backed by my experience at Oracle, Google Cloud, and a late-stage startup, and interviewing the top minds on B2B sales on my podcast. You can use this framework to land clients and land jobs in B2B sales that could change your year and maybe even your life. Feel free to make this elevator pitch framework your own and add your own special sauce to it. In this video, we'll talk about why a strong elevator pitch matters, go through an example pitch selling cloud cost optimization services to an IT executive at a growing SaaS company, and we'll break down the pitch principles so you can apply them and adapt them for any company that you're selling at. If you get value out of the video, hit the like button, give it a love tap, subscribe to the channel, and also check out my Sell More, Live More newsletter if you want bi-weekly tips on how to succeed in tech sales and in life. All right, let's dig into it. So why does a strong elevator pitch matter? Picture this. I was sitting at a bar in downtown Austin and I struck up a conversation with a guy who seemed like he was pretty well off. He was an interesting character and we were talking about different things, having small talk, and eventually I asked him about what he did for work. It turned out he was an executive at one of the fastest growing healthcare companies in the country. Suddenly, I realized I was sitting in front of a whale prospect and I actually got the opportunity to talk about what I did and how I helped clients like him. In that moment, I was able to deliver a pitch that resonated and piqued his curiosity enough to set up a follow-up conversation, and that conversation led to 2 or 3 and eventually a $40 million opportunity. Now, I'm still chasing this whale prospect because the biggest deals take a lot of time. They can take up to 1 or 2 years, but it all started with being ready to deliver a crisp, impactful elevator pitch. I recently did a podcast interview with Nate Nasrallah. Check it out if you haven't already. And we talked about his new book, Selling With. And towards the end of the live interview, an audience member sent a message asking me to ask Nate to pitch the book and why you should buy.
What other people say is, this is the one book that is about where a deal actually happens. Everything else that I'm reading in sales books, sales trainings is about a fraction of what's going on inside of the sales meeting. This is what's going on inside of the buying team conversation.
In that moment, Nate delivered a pitch that was authentic and crisp, and afterwards, that audience member DM'd me on LinkedIn and said he bought the book. That is yet another example of the power of a strong elevator pitch. An elevator pitch can be your sales secret weapon that you can break out at any point to generate opportunity. And a strong pitch is an asset that you can pull ideas from to infuse into all types of outbound communication like email, cold calling, and LinkedIn messaging. We're going to walk through an example pitch selling cloud optimization services, and then we're going to review the principles that make that pitch effective so that you can apply these concepts to pitching anything, whether it's an idea or a charity, or even you going out on a first date. I'm serious. Imagine a VP of engineering putting me on the spot and saying, Chris, why should we even work with you? And I would say something like the following. Here's the truth. I know I don't fully understand your business, so the last thing I want to do is jump to conclusions about how we can help before having a deeper conversation with you about your actual priorities and challenges. In fact, I don't even know if we're fit to help until we have that conversation. And obviously, the last thing you want is for a sales guy like me to blabber away and talk about how great we are. So instead of telling you what I think, I'd rather share the perspective of other customers like yourself on why they turn to us for a partnership. Funny enough, I was talking to another SaaS company like yourself that was in hyper growth mode about a month ago. And when we started talking, they were struggling to manage their growth and also keep their spiky cloud costs under control. And what we did was invest in a quick, free cost analysis of their spending patterns, and we helped them immediately uncover 20% savings that they had completely missed. And we actually made the VP of engineering look like a hero at the organization by freeing up cash from his budget that could be put towards other areas of growing the business, and he actually got promoted to CTO as a result. Now, we had a lot of other options out in the market, but the VP of Eng said he chose us because while other companies can do similar analysis, we were also able to take it a step further and consume the risk on their behalf, leveraging our global buying power. And ultimately, because we took the time to truly understand their needs and offer a true relationship and partnership. I'm not sure what your current situation is and what you're doing from a cost optimization perspective today, but I'd love to set up a quick conversation, maybe next week, to understand your needs and see if we could produce similar results for you. So let's walk through that framework and extract some of the principles that you can apply to creating your own pitch no matter what you're selling, especially in B2B sales. First off, I started by reducing sales pressure and putting the customer at ease by not assuming I knew their situation and acknowledging that I might be biased as a seller and there's a chance that we're not a fit to help them. I almost pulled back a little bit. Secondly, I dove into telling a relevant customer story that was tailored to their business and their role to ultimately show them what's in it for them as the customer. When you tell a relevant customer story, all of a sudden the light bulb's gonna go off in the mind of the prospect and they're gonna say, oh, hey, Chris actually gets my world and understands the problems that I'm facing. I think they might be able to help, and a meeting's gonna be worth it. When telling your customer stories, you wanna focus on highlighting specific business problems. For example, saving money, like in this case, reducing risk, increasing revenue, increasing productivity. These are the business outcomes that executives and companies actually care about. And then when you highlight the problem, you also want to highlight the magnitude of the problem. We help them save 20%. And maybe I could have taken it a step further and translated how much 20% actually was. Maybe it was $30,000 a month. You get the point. And the third thing I did was highlight our differentiation versus the other options out in the market. In today's world, it's a really competitive market no matter what space you're selling in, and customers are gonna have options. So even if you highlight a relevant challenge, they still need to know why they should pick you to uniquely solve that challenge over the competition. And finally, I closed with a simple ask for time to see if we could produce similar results. And I want to acknowledge the nuance embedded in my ask where I subtly imply that I still don't know the current situation. I don't know if cost optimization is a priority, and I don't even know if we're going to be a fit for sure, but ultimately it would be worthwhile to set up time to explore and have the conversation. When all is said and done, a pitch like this not only puts a customer at ease and diffuses their sales defenses, but is tailored and relevant and is highly likely to get them to consider a next meeting. Now imagine you're selling yourself for your next job in tech sales, and you tell the hiring manager, hey, don't take it from me. I'm trapped in my own perspective on why I'm a good fit. Take it from my mom. My mom actually tells me that. I'm just kidding on that one. It's a whole different type of pitch, but I'm happy to make a video on that in the future when you're pitching yourself to show an employer what's in it for them. And feel free to book time with me for a coaching session, and I can help you out on coming up with your pitch, whether it is to land clients in your current role and get more meetings and close more deals, or to land a job in tech sales. What are your guys' top tips to architecting a great pitch that gets more meetings? Let me know in the comments. And of course, like the video, share it with more people so they could benefit from the message, subscribe to the channel, and check out my Sell More, Live More newsletter linked in the description of this video for bi-weekly insight and inspiration to help you grow your tech sales career. To your success in tech sales and in life, happy selling and happy living, and I'll see you in the next one.